Hello, everyone, and welcome to the inaugural edition of the NJC podcast. My name is Kieran Soar. I am the HR Director. I am joined by Dario Ordonez and Sol Cortes. Dario is an Operations Support Manager, and Sol is a Supervisor with NJC. This month at NJC, we have been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, and that is going to be the topic of today's podcast. So I'm joined by Dario and Sol to specifically talk about Hispanic Heritage Month. So welcome both. Thank you very much for joining us today. Dario, do you want to just give our listeners a bit of an introduction to yourself? And then similarly, Sol, just say, floor is yours really, how long you worked for NJC, what you do.
Thank you, Kieran, for inviting me to join to the podcast to discuss about the Spanish heritage. As Kieran said, my name is Dario Ordonez. I joined to NJC 2 years ago as the operations support manager. Happy to be part of this family and then give the part of myself to keep this family growing. Now I'm going to give you the opportunity to Sol to speak, but I want to be translating a little bit in Spanish because Sol requires a little bit.
Sol, ¿tú prefieres en inglés o en español?
En español, por favor.
En español, ok. No,
Sol, ¿nos puedes hacer una pequeña presentación acerca tuya?
Hola, muchas gracias por invitarme a las instalaciones de NJC. Yo soy Sol Cortes, Supervisor de NJC. Tengo 10 años en el Reino Unido y trabajo por 8 años en NJC.
Vale, me alegro de veros. Mi español no es muy bueno. Hace mucho tiempo no lo practico, pero intentaré hablar contigo en español lo que pueda.
Muy bien.
Perfecto.
Okay. Well, thank you once again for both of you for joining. So, like I said, the subject of this podcast is Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'd want to just open the podcast by a little bit of a Q&A. So just testing some knowledge. So me gustaría comenzar con algunas preguntas. So adivina cuáles son. So I want to start with one question. So, and that is, in total, how many people speak Spanish as their first language across the world? So Sol, en total, ¿cuántas personas hablan español como su primera lengua?
Tuyo.
Alrededor del mundo.
Alrededor del mundo son 600 millones de personas que hablan español. En el Reino Unido, alrededor, no pondría, yo creo que unos 220 millones en Reino Unido a la fecha de hoy. Porque en el censo del 2021 eran 215 millones.
Más o menos, sí. Sí. And Dario, would you say the same?
Yes, I will agree, although I don't know exactly about the numbers, but definitely considering that people with the Spanish heritage are all over the world, including America, Europe, Africa, yes, also in some islands in the Philippines, some parts of they speak Spanish, and then they have the Hispanic heritage. Due to the number of countries, I would say that yes, the number is if not the second language in the world, so it's very close.
Yeah. So the total number is 486 million right across the world. So if you compare that to the number of English speakers, do you know how many English speakers there are, roughly? ¿Cuántos inglés hablantes en todo el mundo?
¿Tienes una idea de cuántas personas que hablan inglés en total en el mundo?
No.
Okay, so the number of English speakers is 390 million. Okay. So en total el número de hablantes nativos de español en todo el mundo es 486 millones. So do we know how many countries that includes in terms of Spanish speakers? So ¿cuántos países de esto hispanohablantes incluyen?
En total, países, no lo tengo claro. Son muchos, pero no los tengo claro.
Yeah, so there are 21 countries right across the world.
I was going to say, just considering the size of South America and the countries that are in there, so yes, just over 20.
Sí. Yeah. So suena muchísimo hispanohablantes, ¿no? Yeah, there are a lot of Spanish speakers across the world. Third question. So where did Hispanic Heritage Month originate? ¿De dónde proviene el mes de la Hispania Herencia?
As far as I know, it started in the States just before the 70s. Originally, it started as something week celebration for over a week for just the Spanish people living in the States. But later, over the years, it was considered more, and then it was defined as it should be a month of celebrations, just to allow people to show how proud are they to be in that country, and then showing their culture, and then providing a work, and then just to let another society like the United States to know their cultures as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Well done, Dario. Hispanic Heritage Month did start in 1968 under President Lyndon Johnson, and then expanded under President Ronald Reagan. So we're now seeing, whilst it's not an official event in the United Kingdom, we are now seeing more representation and a movement for it to be recognised in the UK. So do we know how many, lo dicho antes, pero do we know how many Latin American and Hispanic people of Hispanic heritage there are in the United Kingdom, roughly?
215. ¿En qué?
¿En el Reino Unido, lo sabes? Más o menos.
Los hispanohablantes. 215 millones en el censo del 2021.
Yeah. So it's around about that much, so about 250,000 or altogether now. All right. Last question. So can you estimate as a percentage how many Spanish speakers work for NJC? ¿Pueden estimar cuántos por cientos hispanohablantes trabajan por NJC?
It's a good question, actually, considering that I work with lots of Spanish speakers. So it is a bit difficult for me to say the number because I only look after a certain area, but I will say that over the quarter of NJC employees are from Spanish heritage.
Over a quarter, okay.
Yeah,
so,
over a quarter.
¿Qué te dirías?
Yo diría que sí, es difícil decir cuántos hay, pero creería que cada sesión de NJC hay un hispanohablante.
Yeah. So we're around about 60% of the workforce is a Spanish speaker within NJC. And so that's the reason within NJC we want to recognize this month because it's important. It does encompass a wide population, a wide number of our workforces. Y por esta razón estamos aquí para reconocer el mes de la cultura hispana y celebrarlo. Okay. Right, thank you. So that's hopefully you enjoyed that bit there. So that's the end of the on-the-spot questions. You'll be pleased to know. So I want to move on to yourselves as individuals, really. So if you want to start, maybe Dario, just telling our listeners, our viewers, your journey to the United Kingdom. So where are you from originally? How long have you lived here? And why London? Why did you choose London? Not that it's a bad place to come, but just help us. Just tell us your story.
Yes. I was born in Ecuador, in South America. And then I grew up there. But being a teenager, we moved to Spain.
Yeah.
So my teens years were in Spain, in Madrid mainly, and then since then I become adult. So I just I was studying. At some point, but I decided to leave it and then just to go back to work. To start working.
Yeah.
And then so the job was very good, and then suddenly I left the studies on the side for a few years.
Yeah.
And I was having a pretty much good life, enjoying, because the culture in Spain is very similar to the one in South America. So eventually I decided to also to continue my studies. So I did a degree in how is it called, system engineering, basically, which is IT. So I was working, as I said, and the sector where I was working was completely different what I studied, but I decided to stay because the money was a lot better.
Yeah.
But suddenly, after the years in 2008, due to the major crisis in the world, so Spain suffered a lot. And then I was an employee about a year. So not being able to find anything, so I decided it is time to move somewhere else. Yeah. So originally I was thinking to move to Switzerland. Okay. But in the end I decided not, because my French is literally not good at all.
Yeah.
German, no idea about anything. And then, the Italians, it could be an option.
Yeah.
But no, in the end I decided to move to England because due to I study systems, basically. I knew grammar already in English. I never spoke before any English, but I knew some grammar, so that's actually what's key decision for me. It
was a natural choice.
To move to England. So I said, because what I need to do there is just to learn how to speak.
Yeah.
So at the moment I'm living in this country for 15 years. Yeah, it's not been easy at all, but proud to be where I am right now.
Yeah.
That's it, part of my life.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to your experiences a little bit later. Right, thank you, Dario. Y Sol, la misma pregunta. ¿Por cuántos años has vivido en Reino Unido? ¿De dónde eres originalmente? ¿Y por qué elegiste Londres?
Ok. Bueno, yo llevo en total 20 años de estar fuera de Colombia. Primeramente salí de Colombia a España por asilo político. En ese momento había perdido a mi esposo y por protección salí a España, donde de pronto en Colombia era la ama de casa, y llegar pues a España ya no era la ama de casa, sino ya era como la mamá guerrera.
Claro.
Con 3 menores de edad, porque llegué con los hijos míos pequeños. Sí, fue como abrirme un camino en España, dando gracias a Dios que yo soy de una comunidad cristiana y siempre en algún país hay esa comunidad. Entonces, te acogen bien, estás bien, pero sí es un poco difícil llegar en esas circunstancias, en ese momento, pero muy bendecida porque mucha gente me ayudó. Estuve 10 años en España y me fue bien, buen país, me encanta, lo amo mucho. Después paso a Londres, que también ha sido una experiencia tremenda, hermosa. Yo creo que España fue donde crié mis hijos y aquí es donde los acabé de formar, haciéndolos ya mayores y siguiéndome abriendo un paso aquí en Londres, y la verdad que muy agradecida con este país.
Claro.
Sí.
¿Y cómo fue el cambio de Colombia a España y de España a Inglaterra?
Son muy diferentes.
Sí.
Para mí son muy diferentes la cultura. En cuestión de comida no, porque en España se come similar.
Claro.
Pero sí en cultura, y cuando llega uno a Londres, A Londres, pues más, ¿no? Por el idioma, ya se encuentra la barrera del idioma que uno dice, wow, si allá era guerrera, acá era la Mujer Maravilla, ¿no? Como que era más difícil por el idioma y entonces, pero no, me he ido haciendo un puesto aquí en Inglaterra, pero yo creo que he contado con una bendición de Dios, para mí ha sido muy importante.
Sí.
Y aquí también he tenido ese apoyo cristiano que ha sido de mucha bendición.
Sí, y podemos ver mucha gente en la misma situación con tu país.
Sí.
Y we'll go back to Dario. How has your experience been changing from Ecuador to Spain and then from Spain to London?
Definitely there is a change, even though, as I said before, the culture is pretty much close. Ecuador is a country where I was born and still have a very good memories from there. So moving to Spain as a teenager, basically, so I didn't experience much because, at that point it's just actually your parents, the one that look after you. So later in the years, yes, I just integrate myself into the Spanish society and then start working and studying. Not very much different in terms of culture, but always trying to keep our own things, like family heritage, things that we do in Ecuador. So practicing together as a family, but at the same time trying to not to stay separate of the Spanish society. So some experience in Spain was actually, being as a worker. I remember at some point in my early years, so being the only Spanish, the only person from South America, basically working with the Spanish people, which it was good. Yeah. So after that, just when I moved to England, being an adult, so it was a bit hard. But in terms of the language. But other than that, I was okay in terms of how to move around the city, how to know the culture, understanding the culture for people around in the United Kingdom, mainly London. But as I said, the language was the big barrier for me. But I started to picking up very quickly because it was my determination to, as soon as I start working, to learn English. And that's what I did actually. Yeah,
of course.
And then over the years, so this is where I am now, so which is making me feel proud.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to just talk to you both about sort of the path that many Latin Americans take from Latin America to Spain, and why citizenship is offered.
Yo cuando salí de Colombia no fue que eligiera España, porque lo hice desde mi país. Pedir asilo lo hice desde mi país. Entonces la opción en ese momento era Estados Unidos o España. Entonces la recomendación para mí era que, como tenía 3 niños pequeños, era España por el idioma. Me iba a ser más fácil. O sea, en esa circunstancia, para mí era salir mejor a España por el idioma que Estados Unidos en ese momento.
Sí. Okay. More around so why is it offered? What is it automatically offered, or is there an application process? Is there, how does that come about?
No, not necessarily. The citizens from all the countries in South America automatically get the Spanish citizenship. I think it works similar to the UK law. If you have family with Spanish background and then you can prove it, so you can apply it to become a Spanish citizen. And then, if not like that, my understanding is that you could apply in your own country, depending on the circumstances, if you decided just to work, so you have to prove it that you have those skills for the position you are applying to go to, in this case, to Spain. I'm saying that because I had an own experience with my nephew who recently did it. So if everything is applied in time and it is a clean process, so they provide you first they provide you visa, and then after the years you can apply for the citizens. But this is only mainly because of the the heritage from the colony times, because they have a kind of a special agreement with the countries in South America, similar to the UK with most of the Commonwealth countries.
Yeah.
But it's not automatically that people get the citizenship.
Okay. Yeah. So because of the historical, there may be historical ties there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. All right. So next question, I want to talk about sort of identity within the United Kingdom. So we've seen that there are over 250,000 Latin American people within the United Kingdom now. But would it be fair to say there's still a bit of a struggle for recognition, or that recognition is still emerging? So the example that we can give is sort of on diversity monitoring forms. There's still on the large part is there isn't a separate option for Latin Americans. It's more of a case of ticking any other option, any other ethnic group, which doesn't sound right, or it doesn't sound correct. So yeah, what would your sort of experiences of or opinions on that be?
From my point of view, I will say that definitely we need the box where to tick, just to make sure where we fit, considering where the country we come from. But it's something that's, as far as I know, is still not happening in the UK, because most of the forms where you want to apply for something, there isn't any Spanish heritage or Latin Americans. From my experience, what I can say is that what I usually do is just tick the box others, and then just specify exactly which country I was born.
Yeah.
But definitely something should be done about it.
Yeah. Y Sol, la misma pregunta yo quiero hablar de identidad. Hemos visto que hay más 4 millones latinos en Inglaterra. Por ejemplo, en los formularios de monitoreo de diversidad, en gran medida aún no existe la opción de marca América Latina. La única opción alternativa es marca otros, y suena, lo cual no es correcto, ¿es verdad?
Es verdad, no es correcto porque no somos otros.
Sí, no
somos
sois
personas,
otros, ¿no?
Exacto, somos personas normales. Yo creo que sí, es como levantar un poquito la voz, decir no somos otros, somos latinos, somos hispanos, que esa casilla quede marcada por alguien que existe, no por otros, porque se va a quedar, ¿y ese otro quién es? Entonces yo creo que no somos ese otro, sino somos, podemos decir que sí, hispanos hablantes, pero esta generación de ahora como que se mira más que son latinos, como que somos latinos, alzamos la voz, somos latinos, ¿no? Entonces es importante eso para nosotros es importante.
Sí, claro. Y
tener una identidad, porque es como que no la tenemos ahí en ese momento.
Claro, y hemos visto que no hay única identidad latinoamericana también. Hay 21 países con estas personas.
Claro. Son bastantes.
Sí, bastantes. So it's demonstrated pretty well with a short film on YouTube called The Box, which I think we showed last year when we were celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with the event that we did. So destacado muy bien por un cortometraje premiado llamado The Box en YouTube. ¿Y dirías que es correcto el término hispano o latinoamérico? Abarca muchos países diferentes. ¿Cuál es la correcta cuál es el correcto nombre?
Igual, yo creo que si nos dicen hispano está bien, si nos dicen latino está bien, nos identificamos con las dos.
Yeah.
Sí.
Dario, you say the same. What's the correct term to even use? Is it?
Yes, to identify the groups, I would say they both are correct. Yeah. But just to add something else in there, I would say that the term Latin American, it is more widely spoken now. It's like getting over the term called Hispanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Latin American.
Latin America. Yeah.
Right, great. Now I want to talk about the sort of different communities we've got in the United Kingdom, more so the generations. So we've seen the Latin American community is well established. Now it's perhaps moving into a second generation born here. So we've seen with previous sort of groups that have come to the United Kingdom, the integration happens in stages. So we've got the first generation who comes and their main focus is work, trying to build a better life for their children. The children grow up here. They have to balance sort of two cultures. They're born here, so they're British, but also have a link to their parents' heritage. And then you've got the third generation, which by that time is more or less totally integrated to the new country. So how does that affect the sort of Latin American community here? Are you seeing a second generation growing up having to balance two different cultures?
So definitely something that is happening. Yeah, there are different generations so far now. So the new generations, I believe that the one that still having the parents that immigrate to this country and they are probably not fluent in English. It is a good help for the parents, because the new generation, they are English speakers and then also Spanish speakers. So which is a good help for the parents. Going to another generation, as you said, yes, definitely that will be mostly integrated into the British culture. But I would like to highlight that the importance as well of the parents to engage with the kids and always encourage them to, even though it's maybe second generation or third generation, to maintain to these kids, so to know the culture, to know where they originally, the grandparents or whoever came first, they came from, because it's valuable. It's valuable, to know. Okay, it is essential to know about the British culture, but also important to know about your background.
Yeah, of course. Y Sol, la misma pregunta. Si hablamos de trayectoria de las diferentes comunidades dentro del Reino Unido, a menudo se observa que cada generación es diferente. Por ejemplo, la primera generación se centra en establecerse y buscar trabajo. La segunda generación nacida en Reino Unido son británicos, ¿no? Pero equilibra esto con la cultura de sus padres. Para la tercera generación, la cultura se ha asimilado por completo, más o menos. ¿Has experimentado esto con tu propia familia y amigos?
Sí. Sí, yo creo que pues cuando venimos de nuestros países, de pronto traemos nuestra cultura y nos enfocamos en el trabajo. Ya a la segunda generación que está aquí, o la tercera, en el caso mío tengo un nieto aquí, nacido aquí, tiene 5 años y es muy gracioso, ¿no? Porque es de padre brasilero y de madre colombiana. Entonces, se le inculca mucho las culturas, ¿no? El padre le inculca la cultura de su país, la madre la de ella, pero la generación de ahora es muy inteligente. Él cuando le conviene es de aquí o de allá o de allá o de allá, cuando a él le conviene, ¿no? Entonces nos causa mucha gracia, pero yo creo que es muy importante los padres, que la cultura no se pierda. O sea, sabemos que han nacido aquí y sí, son parte de aquí, que lo van a coger porque están aquí, lo van a tomar todo lo que hay aquí, pero es muy importante nuestra cultura de nuestros países. Como para mí como abuela, para mí es muy importante que mi nieto se identifique con nuestra cultura también.
Sí, claro. Y además es muy útil para hablar con otras lenguas, ¿no?
Sí, sí. Porque de hecho, claro, el niño apenas está yendo a la escuela, ¿no? Sí. Entonces la maestra lo mandan a que le enseñen más inglés, porque le cuesta todavía, pero en la casa se dijeron no. Sí. Se habla español y portugués. El inglés lo va a coger en la escuela. Claro. O sí lo va a coger. Entonces, no dejar de que pierda su cultura. De dónde y yo creo que sería un beneficio para él a su futuro también.
Sí. ¿Y qué se puede hacer para reconocer más a la comunidad hispanohablantes en general en Reino Unido, en NJC, por ejemplo?
Yo creería, sino que a veces a nosotros nos dificulta estudiar porque o es trabajo o estudias. Sí. Porque yo he estudiado, pero se me ha dificultado. Porque si dejo de trabajar, necesito el dinero. Y a veces nos encontramos de que o estudio o trabajo. Es un poco complicado para nosotros. He tenido la oportunidad con NJC de darme espacio para estudiar. Han sido flexibles conmigo porque he estudiado y han respetado, como quien dice, ok, ve y estudia y cuando termines, ven y haces tu trabajo. Para mí eso ha sido una de las cosas súper positivas que ha tenido NJC conmigo. Pero yo creería que es motivar, ¿no? Motivar a las personas de que si estamos en un país de habla inglesa, pues deberíamos de practicarlo, de formarnos en este idioma, porque lo necesitamos. Sí. Para cualquier cosa, solo para ir al médico necesitamos eso.
Claro. No, me gusta mucho que dijiste lo que dijiste, sí, definitivamente. And Dario, same question. So yeah, what do you think can be done to sort of recognize the Hispanic community, the Latin American community, a little bit better in the country in general, and your experiences within NJC?
I do share the Soar's opinion. Yeah, there should be something to be done. But I think it's more in terms of the government because at some point I faced that situation myself when I wanted to resume my studies. It was okay. I was okay working, having a good income, but I ended up having no time to study.
Yeah.
So, but if I stop working, so I don't have enough incomes to study. Yeah. So it definitely should be done something because we cannot deny the labor of Spanish people, Hispanic heritage people.
Yeah.
Contributing to this country.
Absolutely.
Perhaps some flexibility from work, yeah, to do that. For people to learn the language and then be able to integrate in the better way to the British society.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I mean, yes, language is the key to integration in a lot of cases, isn't there? Okay, well, thank you. Anything else that you guys want to mention at all?
¿Alguna cosa que quieras mencionar más?
Ya he mencionado mucho.
She has said enough.
Sí, hemos hablado mucho.
No, from my side, I think, I'm okay for now. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Me ha gustado mucho hablando con vosotros. It's been fantastic hearing your points of view, and we sort of look forward to celebrating this important month for many years to come within NJC.
Muchas gracias también.
Hopefully with more positive things the next year.
Yeah. And thank you very much for joining us, our viewers and listeners. And we hope to see you again soon on another edition of the NJC podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.